So cropping, once you adjust and get rid of the sections that you don't want on left, right, top, bottom, then click crop again and you'll have your finished version. As well as cropping, so that's, you click crop, adjust your picture and click crop again to accept it. There's also a down arrow for crop, and you can select crop to shape, and then this menu appears with the different shapes that are available: rectangles, basic shape, block arrows, and there's more to choose from. And you select a shape that you like, and it takes the before and puts it into the shape that you selected. So it's cropping a shape to an image to a shape. Also available in the Picture Tools format are corrections, color, artistic effects, and picture styles, as well as picture border, picture effects, and picture layout. This is the crop that we just worked with, and this is the sizing, both the height and the width. So the corrections, you could have it a sharpen or soften texture, and the brightness and contrast as well. And if you hover over them, you'll get what the brightness percentage is and the contrast. You can select what you'd wish. Under the color, you can change the color, saturation, the tone, or even recolor. In the artistic effects, there are different variety of selections that you could choose from. And then the picture frames, if you click the down arrow, you get more options, and you get some basic frame type of pictures, both rectangle and oval, and some with a different design and effects, and maybe shadowy effects, reflections, a lot to choose from, as well as selecting your own border, and it could be a border color, border thickness, picture effects. If you want more of a shadow or reflection, you can choose that, and also picture layout. In this one, we can select more picture redefined styles and groups. So, and if you hover over each one, they're all labeled. So that one's a rotated, white style in the picture frames, and you can click the down arrow for more options. Compressing the picture. So pictures take up a lot of space. So if you're sending something, flyer, and it has a lot of pictures, or something that you've created that has a lot of pictures in a Word document, the best thing to do, especially if you plan on sending it in an email, is to compress the pictures so they don't take up so much space. So you select the picture from your Picture Tools format, choose Compress Pictures, and then you would want to make sure that you can either apply it to only this picture or all of the pictures that you have on the document, and then also make sure that the target output selected is because it's either print or email, and then OK. Save space when you're sending to someone. Inserting just shapes, not from a picture that we did before where we cropped it, but you can just pick shapes. Whatever your shape, whatever your color theme is, the general is blue. So whatever shape you pick, it's going to be blue, but you can easily change that later. So if you pick a heart and you make the shape size of it, they're all going to be blue, and then you can change them when you get the new shape, which is a new toolbar. So the first thing I did is I chose a heart and then a banner, and you can type either in the heart or the banner. And again, just like you could with the picture, you could rotate, you could also change the width of it, the size of it. This is the icon you get when you choose insert and you select a shape, whether it's a heart or a banner. It doesn't actually just give you a heart, and what you do is all you have to do is take the mouse, hold left mouse, and drag it as big as you want and let go. So this is what you actually get when you first click insert and select a shape. You'll get this. Then of course, if you make it way too small or way too big, you can adjust it with your sizing handles. This right here is pretty cool. We'll get into that in a few minutes. So here it is, a picture selected. Again, the 4 arrows if you want to move the shape, and you can rotate it, and you can also do the resizing handles, and this is to move it. You can also change, maybe you want the heart set behind the banner, then you could choose send to back. And then you can type in it, you can adjust it. So these little sizing handles, it'll make the actual banner either thinner or wider. And then this is the ribbon part of the banner. You could make it thinner or wider, just holding the yellow with the left mouse and drag in or out. So this has been rotated slightly, and then you can type in it. There's the picture handle. So I made it a little bit narrow, and again, you could move it if you wanted to. If you wanted to change the color of the shape, you have your format toolbar for the shape, and you can change the shape styles, or you could go into the shape to have more choices for colors. That's the shape fill. This would be the outline of the shape, and it can also be a different color, and you can also change the thickness of the outline of the shape. And then shape effects is similar to the picture frame effects, where you could have a shadowy effect or a reflection. So this is the shape fill. You can choose any color and go into more fill colors. You can even choose radiant, where it has a light dark effect. These are the shape effects, where you can get a more shadow effect to the picture, or shape, or reflection, a glow around it, and there's different degrees of the glow, soft edges, bevel. And I would try all of these and hover over them just to see what it does as a live preview. This one is aligning pictures. If you just selected different rectangle shapes and you just typed in them, but they're not in any specific order and they're all over the place, there's a quick way to select all of them at the same time. So if you select one shape first, then hold either the Shift or the Control key and manually click each one, they all become selected, and you can change them all at once. So what you would do is select all of them. And then from the Drawing Tools format over on the far right in the Arrange group, choose Align, and you can choose the selected objects and then Align Right. And it aligns them on the right. And you can also, after you've aligned them, is also choose Distribute Vertically so that they were distributed evenly. Because right now these two are on top of each other, but you could have it distributed evenly. So this is the before, and over here it's even, distribute vertically. Then what you can do, instead of having these 4 separate shapes, you can combine them to be one shape. So instead of, if you just had just one clicked and you moved it, then you're moving each one. If you make them a group, then it's just one item you can move. And you can always ungroup it later, but that way it's just one item. Once it's in perfect vertical separation and it's distributed perfectly, you can then group it and move it as one. This is pretty cool. It's just one, I chose an icon, and you can rotate it so that I flipped it horizontally so they're facing each other. So there's pretty interesting ones that if you wanted it upside down, you could do that as well. But I just flipped it so they're facing each other. SmartArt. Pretty nice feature here. Instead of having just a regular bulleted list, you can put it into a very graphic and eye-appealing shape. So if you go into SmartArt, where you just were a minute ago, and that was in Insert SmartArt, you get this whole list of categories. If you choose all, you just go down and it goes through each one just like it's here. List, the process, cycle, hierarchy, relations, and so forth. As you pick each one or select one, it'll give it to you as a display over here and then give you an example of when this type of list would be helpful. Once you find one that will match your categories, you can put it in. So I chose this particular one. So the one that I selected was called Segmented Process. So you're taking a simple bulleted list into a list that goes down with arrows, and you can change the color. I also changed the formatting 3D style effect to it. So this is a before and after, just very eye-catching. So I changed the color, and you can change your theme if you wanted to have more color options. And then you can also, I went into where I chose the 3D effect. And that's it. Thank you.